Hey guys, it's mblohr here, and welcome back to another episode of the Magiclicas Writers Room here on the mblohr channel. So, today, we are going to be talking about some character creation and ideas. So, concepts about the characters themselves, and also how the skins themselves were created. Strap in, we're about to get into some pretty neat stuff. So, we're going to be looking at some comments from episodes 16 and 17, and kind of read those through. Maybe pitch some theories, maybe just analyze kind of the episodes as they happened. So let's get into it. So first comment from episode 16, I knew they would break up soon because the Chalissa ship must sail. And here they're referring to they as Michael and Melissa. Now, in episode 16 they had a fight, but they didn't exactly break up. He just kind of, said, maybe we should have followed that rule of being separate and not dating, right? And then just walks off. Maybe. He did say maybe. So he's not saying, like, we should follow that rule. Let's, right now, we'll break it up. We're over. No, that's not what he said. He kind of left it in the air. And it was just kind of a little argument that they had. Right? That's all that it was. And, of course, episode 17 is out now. And we know that they made up. We know that everything's okay with them now. Maybe. I don't know. It's a little weird between them. But I think their relationship maybe is a little bit more improved. Since they, had a fight and made up. That's how relationships work. Moving on. No, why you ship Reeker? You are ruining Magiclicas. This is a difficult comment to decipher. You are ruining Magiclicas. I'm guessing that is supposed to be Mykissa. Which is Michael and Melissa. Not sure who is ruining Mykissa. Now, this is episode 16, right? We know in episode 17 at the end, Casey has a huge thing against Michael because Melissa is with Michael and Casey wants Chase to be with Melissa, blah, 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 blah. So, we know that he's trying to ruin it. But I don't know who they're referring to in episode 16. So, please comment down below if you have any idea as to what they're talking about. I'm guessing this is directed towards Michael since he's like angry and upset and, they have an argument. Whatever, but as we see again in episode 17, things are better. I know I always talk about Mykissa ship, Chalissa, whatever. If you would look through all of the comments in both episodes, you would know why I talk so much about it, because that is pretty much all people comment about. That is most of what people comment about. Of course, they comment about other things like, oh my god, look at that Stacy Plays doll at 20 minutes. Focus on the story! Another comment from episode 16. It was hilarious when Kaya and Ivy, Kaya is spelled with a Y, K-A-Y-A, just saying. When Kaya and Ivy realized they somehow switched souls, well, switch bodies, they didn't really switch souls. I guess they did, I don't know, they switched bodies. Let's just look at it that way, Freaky Friday sort of way. Also, this was such a fun episode to write, the Freaky Friday stuff. This is at the end of 16, so the Freaky Friday stuff is in 17, so we'll get into that later. I wonder why they don't get along. That's answered in episode 17. It definitely took me a hot minute to think about how I wanted this to go down, because I was pretty much assigned with the role of figuring out why Kaya and Ivy are at wit's end with each other. So that is kind of what I got down into in episode 17, and if you guys haven't seen it yet, it's such a good episode. We kind of get a little flashback into their lives. We see young Kaya and young Ivy, and maybe a couple other characters that, were her friends, were Ivy's friends. I just now realized this. What if Lulu messed up the potion on purpose since she was getting annoyed that Kaya and Ivy kept arguing? Cool theory. I will point out that Lulu has been having a lot of things happening right now. She's just going back and forth from one place to another. She disappears for, a big chunk of time. And, so it might make sense for her to be a little flustered and a little confused. And, the arguing adding to that. And maybe that is why she got the potions, or she got the potion mixed up a little bit. Maybe that's what it is on the surface. Maybe underneath, she's got something going on. She like trying to throw him off. She's mad. She's angry. She's upset. Okay, moving on. From Panda Puddles, aha, my actual debut. Hope y'all like my character. Love all of you so much. So, in episode 16, we meet Zana. And that is Panda Puddles' character. That was the winner of the character contest thing that happened recently, semi-recently. So Zana is, she's a cipher, but she also has some, some talents of her own. She can hack things and do things with computers. It's great. It's awesome. So I hope you guys enjoyed this character being introduced. So now on to episode 17. So another character gets introduced, Allie's character. This is one of the friends of Ivy, or young Ivy. So definitely go check out that episode and see how that is portrayed and what that character is like. Pretty cool stuff. And it feels so great for me to have like written that character in and like see that character come to life. And I think it was very cool how Jakey recreated the flashback that I had in mind. Ugh, gives me the chills. I'm tearing up a little bit. It's great. That was a well thought out, like a long thought out scene that I really, really wanted to be in this episode, and he made it happen. And I'm so glad that you all enjoyed how it ended up, or how it came out in the final product. So thank you guys so much for the support. Another comment from episode 17. I wonder how it was like for Dino and Blossom, VAs of Ivy and Kaya. I can remember characters. I wonder what it was like for them to switch roles and voice act another character. That is very neat. I think it is interesting that they, as voice actors, had to kind of switch their personalities all of a sudden, and just for this one episode, act as someone else. And I think they did a fantastic job with that. The VA of Ivy having like a mental breakdown, but also like acting out and being all shippy and calling Chase honey. Like, awesome. As well as Kaya's character being all rebelly and just independent towards Kaya's mom. Great stuff from them. Honestly, I'm so impressed with the work that they did on this episode. So shout out to them. I also will include kind of their perspective of like how that process went to act out those scenes in a different way. So here you go. So we are here with the voice actor of Ivy, Blossom.
Hi.
How's it going?
I'm good.
How did you find out that you'd have to change up your personality for this episode?
When I was first reading through the script, no one told me until I read it.
Okay. All right.
So I kind of just figured it out on my own. I went back and looked through like the old scripts to figure out how Kaya's personality was like really like coming through, and like rewatched the first 11 episodes to figure out like how to perfectly like capture Kaya.
Yeah, you are way ahead of me because that was going to be my next question.
Oh,
what
sorry.
strategies? No, it's fine. It's fine. What strategies did you use to try and replicate the persona of Kaya?
Rereading through the scripts.
Mm-hmm.
So it kind of just really helped to like hear the wonderful voice actress for Kaya, like how she plays her.
Yeah.
So
did this kind of like give you some insight as to like how this character is different from your own?
it really did, because now like I kind of get like how Kaya feels towards Ivy, and like before I didn't. I had like no clue why.
Right, exactly. Well, yeah,
she had.
Well, join the club, like pretty much the whole audience, and I don't think I even knew it. I'm essentially the person who came up with, what their dispute was and that whole thing. So, but yeah, up until this point,
Figured it'd be like something in the past, but like I had no idea what Ivy could have done to make her like so mad at her. Because when I first started like voicing for Ivy, she seemed so nice and sweet, and I was just like, what could Ivy have done to her?
Right.
So it's like, no, that like I get how she feels. It's a lot different.
Yeah. So what was it like voicing a different character, but like still having, still using the same voice?
It was weird. It was kind of like when I did Evil Ivy,
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
but
yeah.
But like at the same time, it was different because obviously I wasn't like I was still Ivy with her. I was just like evil, but for
Right.
I had to be like Kaya inside Ivy's body, so I was trying to like my hardest to like make sure I sounded like Kaya instead of Ivy, just trying to pretend to be Kaya.
Yeah.
Like, because it was hard, but I think I did an okay job.
Yeah, I would say so. So as a voice actor, have you ever done anything like this before? You mentioned with Evil Ivy, have you ever done anything similar to this as far as maybe other projects?
I actually haven't.
Really?
That was like my first time.
Wow.
Because
So,
like, Magiclicas is like my first like series I've been in.
Right. Okay.
I was in Jakey's Spice of Life for like an episode, but then I got shot, so there wasn't really much there.
Well, okay. Yeah. So do you think this gave you more experience as a voice actor doing this kind of thing?
I think it definitely did. I was able to be like more emotional with my voice acting than I usually am, because I was usually so like happy and bubbly and excited. Like, and when she really like pours out her feelings, I get to play Kaya. When I was Evil Ivy, like I love those types of scenes because I feel like it really brings out like character.
Yeah.
And it was fun getting to play different emotions. It was really fun.
Yeah, awesome. Thank you very much.
No problem.
I found out that I would have to change my personality for this episode basically when they first switched their bodies. I was just like, okay, I see where this is going. I know what I'm getting into now. Alright. But yeah, apart from that, I just read the next episode script, and yeah, that's basically how I found out, because I'm not that good at predicting things. So yeah. To replicate the persona of Ivy, I kind of just thought, like, how would I feel if I was in her situation? So, for example, how would I feel if someone was just randomly yelling at me for reasons that I didn't know and is always grumpy around me? And so, like, yeah, I would use those feelings into the dialogue, and yeah. But every once in a while, I wouldn't really be that sure how to voice something, so I would just voice it multiple times, and whichever one was the best was the one that Jakey used. Which is also why reading the entire script, or at least the part where you're going to voice, is really important, because then you would understand what's going on and you would know what tone you're supposed to use and everything, and what attitude you're supposed to give. It was really weird doing a different character with the same voice, because I kind of grew used to Kaya, and I was like, it's like basically getting to know someone and then it turns out they're completely different. But then again, it's like, you know, it's a different character, but like that's just how it felt. And it was really confusing too, because I would read Ivy's lines and I was just like, this sounds like something that I'm supposed to say in this roleplay. But yeah, it's just so confusing. Every once in a while, I would even like accidentally voice Ivy's lines, and then I would have to cut it out of the recording. No, I have never done anything like this before. I mean, this is technically my first official voice acting experience. All of my previous voice acting experiences were all for side characters in Jakey's roleplay, Spice of Life. There was that, but apart from that, I haven't really done any voice acting consistently. This most definitely gave me more experience as a voice actor. Like, it's basically like switching between two different personalities, and that's not that easy for most people. Even just putting emotion into text isn't that easy, because you kind of have to imagine yourself in the situation. So this definitely helped give me more experience.
So very cool stuff from them, and we will move on to the final 2 comments on episode 17. So this comment, I'm glad Kaya and Ivy made up. I also feel bad for Kaya. Jakey's response is included in this as well. Did they really though? That's the real question. And it is. They didn't exactly make up. Ivy apologized, and Kaya was just kind of like, you know, okay, you apologized. But they didn't really make up. They didn't really, like, you know, immediately bond again. So there's still some issues there, still some tension, and we'll see how that unravels in future episodes. By honey, it was at this moment Kaya knew she messed up. I think it was a pretty fun scene. This one I did not write. This was all Jakey. Jakey wrote that specific scene with Chase and Casey. Because, you know, he just had the idea and he just wanted to get a jump on it. I definitely really like this scene. I enjoy this scene, especially because of, you know, that one line. So we had one Twitter question. Just one. That's it. This is what I'm telling you guys. If you actually, like, tweeted at me with a hashtag, you would probably definitely be in an episode. So, like, tweet me, please. From @Gabby_Tucker6. CC questions. So, character creation questions. Number 1, eyes. How do skin makers do that? Number 2, how did you guys come up with the uniform? I decided to talk to lead skin designer for the Magiclicas, Kryptonite Cole. I asked him this question and maybe some other questions that maybe you, as a potential successful skin designer, might have had. So you are the lead skin designer for the Magiclicas, correct?
Yes.
The eyes. How the heck do you make the eyes like that?
Oh, it's a complicated process. I open paint.net and then I create like colors and sparkles.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you look, you'll see the white sparkles.
Right.
And then I just mess around with the colors, and then I deform it using some filters, and then there you go.
Basically, you're just saying, like, work on it separately and then copy and paste.
Yeah.
What would be a tip to give to people maybe looking to design skins like that, or, you know, wanting to get into that kind of role?
Well, there is a bunch of tutorials on YouTube that really help. That's how I learned.
Okay.
And paint.net is really well. It goes really well with HD skin making because like MediPaint Pro, does not work like well with HD skins.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I'm someone who uses paint.net as well. So you would say that paint.net is like over maybe like Photoshop or any of the other?
No,
like...
I would say, well, if you're looking for a free option, I would go with paint.net.
Okay. Alright. Do you think it's worth investing in something like Photoshop to, you know, improve your skin creation, or do you think, you know, it really doesn't matter the software?
It really doesn't matter.
Okay. What specific characters have you designed for? Just like the new HD versions, or have you done more than that?
I've done the HD versions, and I designed Lulu's Sparrow skin.
Like the Kage skin?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, Kage.
Cool. I think that's all that I have to ask, so thank you very much.
No problem.
So finally this person says, Trinity, purple and gold eyes, light brown hair, Ivy style without flower crown, has powers of persuasion. So I'm guessing this is like a character that you designed? That you created? Not really sure, but very cool. Powers of persuasion, that would be interesting. You know, just kind of like hinting at people, kind of like the what am I saying here? The Force suggestion thing from Star Wars, where he's like, "You will subscribe to my channel. You will give this video many likes. You will comment with your feedback. You will have an awesome day." I hope you guys did enjoy, and I will see you all later.